Daredevil Born Again has officially released. And today I'm gonna, I guess, short, hopefully short. We'll see how short it is, but give you some thoughts, and general overall feelings about the first two episodes. The first two episodes released last night, 9 Eastern. Um, now I'm going to probably end up watching through them both again, just to just I guess I don't want to say pick it apart, but look deep dive a little bit more, just because sometimes you get more information the second time through. Um, but this is more going to be general thoughts. I'm gonna initially try and stay away from spoilers. We'll get into some spoilers at the end, but again, this hopefully won't take this. This isn't intended on being a pick it apart review slash opinion piece. Uh, so I have been very excited since the latest trailer for Daredevil Born Again to come out. Um, it, hoping to a return, hoping for a return to form, which um, we'll say is still possible. I think so. General overall feelings about the first two episodes. The first episode had a pretty good action set piece at the beginning. Um, there are some things that happen in it that are the the things that make me feel a little bit icky about the show so far. Um, but generally, the set piece was good, and episode one overall, I wasn't a big fan of. Episode one left me sort of feeling like, uh oh, um, have we been completely fooled here? Were characters brought back just to do certain things to them, and move on? And I think that's the case with Foggy and Karen Page. We'll get into that later, but episode one left me feeling pretty cold. Uh, it's generally overall episode one is very slow, in my opinion. Uh, we almost get Wilson Fisk is basically almost crying and begging Vanessa for stuff at one point, which I get is it's his love and all that, but I want to see a strong Wilson Fisk, but I guess we're building, right? I'm trying to give the benefit of the doubt a little bit here. But I'm gonna end up going right into spoilers here. But so I guess my overall opinion so far is episode one was slow and not great for me. The set piece at the beginning, the action one shot was pretty good. Uh, it was better than I've seen from a Marvel show in a while. But to be fair, I haven't watched many Marvel shows. That is also, I think, maybe a problem with this. I feel like I'm missing information because I haven't watched uh, Marvel shows. I'm not sure if that's the case or it's just they're they're just leaving bits of information out on purpose. So episode one, slow, not great in my opinion. Episode two, um, slow beginning, but by the end, I had a renewed sense of hope that we might actually be going somewhere and that we might actually get close to a return to form, and get back to the Netflix versions of Daredevil. Um, so so two, I don't think repaired all of my bad feelings about episode one, but episode two, I thought by the end, for me anyways, I thought it did enough to get me thinking, well, maybe we're gonna be okay. Maybe I just need to hang in there and let the story develop a little bit more and see what happens. Now, like I said, uh, it I think both of them are actually pretty slow. It Episode two ramps up at the end, um, but things I like. So I like that. I like the two action set pieces we had, one at the beginning and one at the end of episode two. I liked both of them. They both seem pretty good and pretty tight. I haven't, of course, broke them down frame by frame, and I don't know that I necessarily will because they felt good. You tend to go in and deep dive some of these fight scenes because you can tell that timing is being missed and the other things are off. I don't think that's the case with these two fight scenes. And so I'm pretty happy with the fight scenes. I like a lot of what they're doing with Matt's hearing. You hear the heartbeats of people in the background when he's listening. I'm not sure about the initial like little whistle sound they're using to show that he's using his super hearing, for lack of a better term. But I do like what they're doing with the hearing aspect, that Matt is using that skill, even though he's not really being Daredevil right now. He's still using his Daredevil abilities to be Matt Murdock. Now, I'm just going to go ahead and say spoilers at this point, because I think to say some of the negatives, the things that I don't like, I have to sort of shed light on some of the characters and some of the things that happen in the show. So we're going to be getting into spoilers now. I felt tricked. I'll just say straight up, I felt tricked at the beginning of episode 1 of this season. I felt tricked because we had a lot of media and a lot of advertising, all pointed towards, hey, people are back. We've done reshoots. Foggy and Karen, we knew we made a mistake not bringing them on. Foggy and Karen Page are going to be in the show. It's going to be a return of the old crew. We're getting shots like, let me bring it up here. We're getting these shots of the group together, right? That's what a lot of the previews were. We had some fight stuff in there, but a lot of it was you saw the old gang back together, and you can feel good because the old gang's back together. Well, again, spoilers. Foggy dies in the first 5 minutes, and then in the next 10 minutes, Karen Page is left and gone to San Francisco, and looks like not be in the show at all. So the people that I was hoping to see, my fan favorite Foggy and Nelson, that everybody wanted to see come back, he came back just to get fridged and killed. It didn't feel good. I'll be honest. And now look, I know it's a character death. It's a beloved character death. I'm not a big main character guy. I'm that's why I struggle with Game of Thrones sometimes. So many main characters get killed. But that's not even my problem with it here. Is it didn't feel good. Foggy Nelson is basically Matt's conscience. The actor has done such a great job of just being a voice of reason and just caring for Matt and trying to keep him grounded. The back and forth between Matt Murdock and Foggy Nelson in the Netflix series was so on point and so great. It's one of the things I love most about the series was their interaction. Karen as well. Like I always liked Karen and how she was just sort of thrown into that mix, and she's just another layer of that friendship that's looking out for Matt and trying to realize that everything that happens in this world in New York is not Matt's fault. And they're immediately just gone. So that didn't feel good, not just because of a story thing, but just because I feel like we were tricked into thinking that they were going to be around for the whole series. Now that could be on me. Like I'll that could be on me, just hoping and not looking into it more. But I was hoping they'd be around for at least a few episodes. And I guess that's, well, unless they do some weird fake out death, then yeah, Foggy's dead. So doesn't feel good. Second problem with the first episode is the whole opening sequence. While it was well fought and I thought it was good, I wish we didn't have the smoke bomb and so we could see what was going on a little bit more clearly. One question was, I thought Matt's Daredevil suit was Kevlar, so I'm not sure why. I thought it could stop bullets. Correct me if I'm wrong, but bunch of Bullseye. So Bullseye shows up and it's Bullseye that kills Foggy, which fine, but I don't understand the plan. It's all the plan on to get this all in motion was very very odd, and I don't understand how it worked, and it all just involves uh well, nonsense for it to happen. That's the biggest problem I have with it is the plan was stupid. Why it worked is beyond me, and then the only reason it worked is because of show, right? Um, but you know, Foggy has put somebody in hiding in his apartment because they're afraid people are going to come after him or something. I guess Bullseye finds this out and goes and tortures the guy to find out where Foggy is. I guess I don't know if Bullseye's trying to find Matt and he just assumes he'll be with Foggy, if he's looking for Foggy. I don't know. Um, but the guy, of course, gives up Foggy. This is all happening while he's on a telephone talking to him. Nope, that's not the one. Um, and they're having this whole conversation. They have the whole bar thing. We're introduced to the replacements for Karen, and that's the other thing. We're introduced to Foggy's replacement and Karen's replacement right here. It's like this was the scene to show that, oh, Foggy's gonna turn into this girl, and Karen is now going to be this guy. It's I don't know, it didn't sit right. Then they're on the phone and Foggy's like trying to reason with the guy, tell me where he is, and Matt, of course, can hear everything going on the phone. So Matt decides that instead of calling the cops, that Matt's gonna fly over rooftops as Daredevil and go get the guy. And we find out that apparently I don't know. It's just Bullseye basically ends up baiting Matt to come try and save the guy so he can shoot Foggy and kill a whole bunch of people at his bar. And it doesn't the whole setup for this thing is just like clunky. It doesn't work. And I'm not I don't know why they chose to, if they're gonna do this, I don't know why they chose to do it this way. Bullseye could have just been, I don't know, on a rooftop waiting for him as a sniper, right? I mean, there's a million things like this is just it was just weird. And then there's also the question of, so Bullseye, if Bullseye's trying to hurt Matt, he shoots Foggy. So Foggy gets hit, and then instead of killing Karen Page, he shoots the two guys next to her. It's very weird. And I don't understand why Bullseye didn't just shoot Karen too. But and this is what I'm talking about with the smoke too. I get why the smoke bomb's there. It's to clear out everybody so they can have their fight. So that's why I'm not that upset about it. But I wish Amazon's player was a little better. So, at least Karen's trying to take out her gun. That's good. But the whole cold opening of episode 1 was to introduce Karen and Foggy's replacements and then get them out of there. And it was, I don't know. I liked the fight scene. I'm not sure I liked what happened in the fight scene. Does that make sense? So we then, we have this whole thing where Matt is, of course, upset. He's, locked Karen out. So Karen leaves and goes to San Francisco. Where else? I wish they kept the old intro, by the way. I don't think it's bad by any means, but the old intro is so iconic. Maybe they just aren't able to use it. But the old intro I thought was better. This one ain't bad, but I still like the other one better. We go to Vanessa, who is in charge of the crime syndicate, fine. But apparently she's better at it than Wilson, and everything is better than when Wilson was around. And of course, she's a better kingpin than the kingpin. Great. We then see that Matt has new Foggy is his conscience. So replacement Foggy is here. There's a point somewhere in here where the other thing that bothered me about this is Matt throws Bullseye off a building. Let's see if it shows it. Let me see if I can find it. Matt throws Bullseye off a building, and he somehow survives. There's dead Foggy, which, man, I'm so happy that Foggy came back for 5 minutes. Oh, he's already there on the ground. Of course, Karen did a good job of acting. She did great. There you go. Throws him off a building. Boom. He lands on his head, and he survives. So I didn't think that I didn't think Bullseye had superpowers like that. I guess maybe he does. I don't know. But of course, Vanessa's in charge. Like I said, she's a better kingpin than Kingpin. Wilson Fisk basically cries, asking her to take him back, even though I don't really know why she's mad at him. He was in jail unless something changed. Of course, I didn't. If there's other media to produce, he was in jail to protect her, so I don't know why she's mad at him. Also, she should know that all the power she wields and the reason she's able to accomplish anything is because she's Wilson Fisk, aka the Kingpin's woman, which is sort of shown here, which is why I don't. I'm not gonna stay on it too much. It's sort of shown here when she's having her little meeting with all the gangsters, and the gate opens and Wilson's there, and everybody leaves. So I think I don't know why she doesn't realize that she's able to do anything only because of him still. Maybe she's just arrogant. The arrogance. I don't know. Yeah. So I don't know why they're. I guess for drama, so we can get to the therapist. I don't know. We then get, of course, the we have the weird guy that's Donald. I'm not gonna we'll take that for what it is. The hyper weird guy that is like Wilson Fisk's hype man, I guess. And then of course we have best friend is setting up Matt on a date because Matt needs a new love interest. And of course, it turns out later that love interest is also going to be the therapist for Wilson Fisk because the world is tiny. No, I think it's probably because I guess Wilson Fisk, even though they came to an agreement at this table, Wilson is just gonna keep fucking with Matt, I guess, even though it doesn't seem like he really wanted to. So I don't know. We're jumping ahead a little bit. So we have this long conversation where they repeat themselves a few times. At this point, it's just sort of dragging on, and somehow, even though he's a convicted killer, he's done more harm to the city. Wilson Fisk manages to win the mayorship. He wins the election for mayor of New York City. For all rights and purposes, it sounds like he did it without cheating. It sounds like he fairly won it, which is one of those things. Also, it's like, okay, that's weird. I guess. Okay, so Wilson Fisk is now mayor. Okay, so it's just it's like some of these weird things. At least for me, it's just like I I don't know. I guess people just I don't know. I'm not sure. He comes into the race late. He he's an ex-con who did more harm to the city publicly. Publicly he did. It wasn't a lot of this isn't a secret. And they vote for him. Okay. Fine. So he's in position to do whatever it is his motivation is for the season. Matt is, of course, retired Daredevil again. So we get to do the I don't want to be Daredevil arc again. It would be great if we can just not do that anymore. So hopefully, I'm hoping that the end of episode 2 gets us beyond that because, um, I would like to see Daredevil, right? So that's what I'm looking for. So uh now, to be honest, episode 2 is uh I would say a lot more of the same in the beginning. I don't know if that's fair, but Disney Plus is terrible, by the way. Like their player is like some of the garbage. Like, have you ever been on Disney Plus and you're trying to hit pause or whatever, and all the buttons disappear and you can't do anything? Sorry. But okay, so we go into episode 2. Matt is, of course, getting drunk and drinking and depressed because Wilson Fisk is mayor. Uh, fine. Wilson is, I guess, trying to find his way as mayor, and uh, his I guess his number one is telling him that don't change anything. It seems like Wilson generally wants to make the city better right now. Right now, like that's also the thing. Right now, I guess gonna have to wait and see. But it seems like Wilson Fisk is actually wants to like genuinely do things the right way this time around. Maybe it's all just a ruse. I'm not sure. But we get and then we get this. It seems like this is going to be the inciting incident that pops off the whole season. Let me get to it, which is also it's worth mentioning that there is another vigilante that kept getting kept getting mentioned side by side with Daredevil earlier in the show, called White Tiger. I'm not sure I don't know White Tiger. I don't know if he's an existing Marvel superhero, but the amount of time White Tiger gets mentioned along next to Daredevil and, of course, Spider-Man, there's a description. Spider-Man is also mentioned. So, don't mention Spider-Man if you don't want us to wonder where Spider-Man's at. That's my only suggestion with that. You probably should have left Spider-Man out, because now I have questions why Spider-Man isn't fighting Kingpin too, since Spider-Man fights Kingpin a lot in the comics, just as much as Daredevil probably. So we come in on this. It's part of the cold open basically. This guy's getting beat up on the train tracks. This guy, of course, tries to come help him because he's just beating up a guy. And a fight ensues, and which ends with this guy. Where is it? Here he goes. He's putting him to sleep. And then this guy trips, I guess, which is a weird trip, but we're not here to break that down completely. He trips, falls into the train. The other guy had run away, and we find out that these two guys are, of course, NYPD. So I'm assuming this is going to be the thing that kicks off all the conscience of character and whether I should be Daredevil or not. We're doing the corrupt cop thing again. It looks like maybe, which I know that happens a lot, but okay. So we're doing corrupt cop again to frame innocent man. Now I don't know how innocent he really is. He shouldn't be being put up for murder here. Maybe manslaughter, maybe nothing. I don't know. this is sort of a gray area because he is trying to just he's butting his nose in where it doesn't belong really, but he's trying to be a good person and save somebody from getting an ass whooping, not knowing the circumstances. And these guys did not announce themselves as cops. So this guy, I feel like, is more in the right than in the wrong. And then just a fluke happened, right? So, we get more, we get optics and, Wilson, you're losing the cops. If you lose the cops, you lose the city. Matt is talking to a client and hears them beating the shit out of this guy in a room. So of course Matt doesn't let that happen. We then get to Wilson and waiting in a car, and they're in a traffic jam, and he, of course, this was a weird scene for me. There's a big giant pothole on a bridge, and they have it cordoned off, and Wilson gets pissed off that he's having to wait. So he gets out of the car. He calls over some guys over here that I guess are workers working on it. He goes, "Hey, you guys have everything you need here, right?" He's like, "Yeah, it's just the red tape. And I'm waiting for permits." And Fisk is like, "Well, consider the permits permitted. Get to work." And it's like, that's not how that works, man. It's also a bridge. So, like, it's another weird one. Consider the permits permitted. Fill that hole. It's like, that's pretty dangerous, Wilson. I guess you're just hoping you're not mayor when the patch job gets fucked. Okay, so he has which fine, I guess. I mean, maybe he's just it is for optics, so maybe he's thinking, fine. So I'm like I said, I'm giving a lot of rope, but this is we're meandering along here, right? So we then get to the court. Of course, there's no tolerance for the judge doesn't want to hear it. He's accused of a cop, no bond, shuts the door on him, right? We then get the character of Ben Ulrich's daughter, BB. You see these little documentary things splashed in throughout the episodes. Of course, she apparently, I guess, she has slept with Donald to get an interview because I guess that works. Where she goes and is told she can ask a few questions, but be, don't push it, right? Good advice with Wilson Fisk. She goes in there, doesn't ask any questions, and then asks, and then when she can tell that he's annoyed, she asks about his wife, and he just kicks her out. It's like crack reporting. I don't know if this is one of these. It doesn't seem. It almost sounds like she's on his side. Maybe I don't know. Maybe she's just trying to be a good journalist. I don't know if she knows that her. I think her father, maybe Uncle Ben, was murdered by him. Maybe she's not aware of that. Maybe she is. I don't know. I guess we'll see. So we then, Matt's new love interest, who of course is a therapist, has a weird guy that is gonna not hurt her later at all. This guy's not gonna do anything bad to her later because he's crazy and blah blah blah. So I don't know the whole whatever. I don't care about Matt's love interest. Matt can just be Matt. He can be lonely and an ass kicker. That's what I want. So hopefully we're getting there. So we then get the at least we have somebody that hasn't forgotten that Wilson Fisk is actually the kingpin and a piece of shit. The police commissioner is stepping down because he's trying to hurt Wilson because he knows Wilson is a piece of crap. So that's good. He remembers and he's trying to stick it to him and he doesn't trust Wilson. Excellent. Good stuff. We then get I don't even remember what this is. Oh, that's right. Um, we then find out that Cherry, the ex cop now investigator, is snooping around. I forget his names. The guy in trial house, and he of course finds the white tiger suit. No way! I had no idea. Um, so they're out, of course, drinking and having dinner. And Cherry calls him and tells him that he's White Tiger. We get some exposition, which is actually this expedition was fine because you find out White Tiger needs his amulet to use powers, and Matt's mad at him for not telling him he's a White Tiger, which of course he wouldn't. Um, and then Matt B's a little bit of a hypocrite, and I think he realizes it, so that was fine. And they're now White Tiger and Daredevil are ready for their team up because they're on the same page. This I like this. I actually like this scene a lot. The commissioner comes in to resign. Fisk is, of course, eating. He's got a big, looks like a Philly cheesesteak. It is a Philly cheesesteak because he starts talking to the commission about Philly, and he used to be there. And then, he drops out of resignation, is about to leave, and he gives him a little story about cheesesteaks with his weird head of security guy. I don't know what his deal is yet, but we'll see what something up with Wilson Fisk's head of security. And he threatens his son. I think it is his son that nobody's supposed to know about. So he of course doesn't threaten him by saying it. He's talking about cheesesteaks and this, that, and the other, and then he lifts up his paper and he shows the commissioner his son. And the commissioner, of course, says, "Okay, fine, I won't resign, but careful what you wish for, buddy." So hopefully the commissioner throughout the season, or at least for a few episodes, is going to be fucking with Wilson Fisk because he asked for it. So that was a good scene. Wilson Fisk doing Wilson Fisk things. Basically, saying one thing and the other thing actually being accomplished, which is him threatening the commissioner to stay on because he needs the optics. I liked the scene. It was pretty good. We then have Matt. This scene confused me too. If I'm frank, not the BB. This right here. God, Disney Plus. My God, this scene confused me too because so Matt goes into chambers, and because the White Tiger didn't think to hide his suit any better, and now that Matt knows he's White Tiger, instead of keeping that one close to the chest, Matt is such a forthcoming and good lawyer that he outs his client's secret identity as White Tiger to the judge and to to the prosecutor. So White Tiger's identity is now fucked because I don't know, because Matt was afraid that somebody would find out that he's White Tiger, even though nobody has any reason to think he's White Tiger, and that since he's White Tiger, it'll show that he likes violence. So it puts a bad light on him for the murder. I don't get it. I don't understand it. Matt just outs his secret identity for no fucking reason. And yeah, not good. In my opinion. We then we then talking about finding the guy that got beat up, which is, Cherry says he likes Matt that's without Daredevil. I don't like Matt without Daredevil. Well, that's not true, but we need more Daredevil. So Matt decides to follow Corrupt Cop, which this guy is also in Mayor Kingstown, the Corrupt Cop guy. So he plays corrupt cop pretty good. Well, he's not corrupt in Mayor Kingston. He's just wacko. He's out of his mind. Too much trauma. We then get to Wilson Vanessa therapy time because Vanessa's mad that Wilson went to jail for her to protect her. Oh, there's also a moment in here where which I don't know which episode it is, but they have a conversation about Vanessa sleeping with a guy named Adam, and Vanessa's like, "Don't kill him," and Wilson's like, "Yeah, no problem. It's okay. I don't care." Because we just have to we have to make Wilson Fisk weak. Apparently, I don't know. Very weird. So we have therapy time with the Fisks, and of course, the therapist is none other than Matt's love interest because there's no other therapy in town. Now, I don't know. I'm trying. Disney's players fucking garbage, man. I don't know if it's because Fisk has done this on purpose to fuck with Matt or if it's just random. I hope it's to fuck with Matt and it's not random. If it's random that she just happens to be the therapist that he gets, then yeah, that's no good. So meanwhile, Matt is following the corrupt cop around. He hears him kill the dude. So Matt gets there first. I'm not quite sure how he did that without his Daredevil stuff, but we'll let it go. Especially because it looks like this guy's on a motorcycle. So I'm not sure how Matt gets there first, but whatever. Matt gets in. He talks to the guy. He hears that they're coming up. He says, "You better get the hell out of here. I got a guy waiting for you." So the guy takes off. And then we have the fight scene happen. So, which is interesting because, and I actually appreciate that they went full in here. So he comes in. So, and this better be something pretty bad because he comes in. He says he's a cop. He recognizes Matt as the lawyer, right? He attacks him. He attacks him. Matt informs him that they have him, the witness, and they attack him anyways. So this better be something really bad that they're trying to get this guy for. That better be pretty damning, right? So they attack him. Matt's, of course, being very arrogant, which great. I loved it. Good. It was great. And they decide to give Matt a pounding. They're beating up the blind lawyer. So that shows you what type of guys these are. They're also not very smart. But then they, of course, decide that, well, we can't have him coming back. So the two cops commit to murdering Matt. So I thought that was good because, well, one, they didn't want him they couldn't have him witnessing around, right? He's a lawyer. We just beat the fuck out of him for trying to do his job. We got to get rid of him, right? So good on the show for that. And what was the other thing I was going to say? Oh, so yeah, so that's good on that. And then good on Matt basically taking a beating and then them committing to wanting to kill him. Now, the fact that they're willing to kill a lawyer like this, again, whatever is going on with this witness, it should be big because these people are going really far to try and protect whatever the secret is. So then we have a pretty good, I thought it was a good fight. Matt just destroys them. It was great to see. I want to see more of this. He throws them against the fridge. Now, Matt beat them up pretty darn good. So I don't know if they're dead. Probably not. But Matt beat the shit out of him. There it is. So he hits his head pretty good. Blood comes out. I don't know if they're dead or not, but Bullseye fell off a 20-story, well, maybe 10-story 15-story building on his head and he was fine. So I'm sure this guy's fine too. And then, of course, Matt, gets mad and screams because, well, he's trying to keep that side bottled up again. Let's just get by this. Let's just get this, Matt, right here. Let's get that. Let's just stay here, okay? So, look, I'm not out right now. I think there was enough good in these episodes. There's pieces in there that's good that I can see. It's like, okay, maybe we got something here. But I hope they keep the momentum from the end of episode 2 and keep going with that. A lot of the weird stuff with Fisk and Vanessa is just I let's just get rid of it. Let's just have Wilson pretending to be a good mayor while cheating along the way, doing evil stuff to get what he wants. And let's have Matt stop him. So hopefully we see Daredevil next episode. I don't know. Tell me what you think. Did you like it? Did you have some of the same problems I did? Do you just like the whole thing? Did you dislike the whole thing? I am upset Foggy's gone, and I am upset Karen Page is gone. I feel like we did get tricked there. But we'll see. We'll see how the show is the rest of the way through. I still have some hope. Episode 2 did a lot better than episode 1 for me. So let's see. And it ended a lot better. So we'll see if we can keep that momentum going. So let me know what you thought about the first 2 episodes of Daredevil Born Again. And thank you for watching. We'll see you on the next one. Bye.